With you for the afternoon coffee talk update. It is 3:27, just a couple of minutes early. Think it's kind of an interesting scenario because it really is the tale of two cities, right? We take a live look outside on our Tower Cam network, and it is gorgeous. There are so many people. Of course, it's the last couple of days of summer vacation for Volusia County students. They go back to school next week. Meanwhile, you head inland, and this is what it looks like on the downtown skies. Dark skies around, even darker skies kind of looking off in this direction. I will tell you, though, when we come over to our first warning live Doppler radar, there are thunderstorms. Lots of thunderstorms we have had. Severe thunderstorm warnings posted, and even for our friends up in Ormond Beach, we're actually watching storms back beachside. So let's zoom in and just kind of see what's going on. Here's a live look at our first warning Doppler radar, and you can kind of see these storms firing up along a line of convection here. Nothing that is necessarily too strong, but from Holly Hill and Ormond Beach all the way down to about where the municipal stadium is, watching some thunderstorms in that area. We'll put the velocity channel on the radar, and there's just kind of differing winds, maybe some broad rotation, nothing to be too concerned about, but winds in here, according to our live radar, and that's what we're using is our live radar. We're finding 18, 20 mile per hour winds. So again, not severe, but a nice nasty thunderstorm up that way. Let's move further to the south, see what's doing around Samsula, particularly around Lake Ashby there. We're watching a nice thunderstorm complex right over the 415 that extends back over toward Forest Hills. Further to the south into Seminole County, Geneva, Chuliota, some very, very heavy rainfall there. We'll switch over to our velocity product. And this is kind of more of just a downdraft signature than anything, but you see those brighter colors? Look at some of the winds that we're reading on our radar. 29 miles an hour around Chuliota, 36 mile per hour winds. So it may be sub-severe, but it is a nasty storm, particularly. That extends further to the south through Bithlo. This is including Cypress Lake Glen area and up through the University of Central Florida, or very near the University of Central Florida, of course. UCF is sitting right there. So this is on the back side of UCF back here around Lake Mills, Lake Pickett. Further to the south, it kind of tapers off just a little bit and then gets heavier still down around 192 outside of St. Cloud. We'll zoom in there and you can kind of get an idea. Pretty rural area, but Arthur Gallagher Boulevard, Erlo Bronson, which is 192. And then out near Narcoossee, Lake Mary Jane, that kind of area. But certainly a lot of dark skies around. Let's go back to the wide perspective, and I just want to put a lapse on our radar just to give you an idea of its overall motion. It's not really moving much, interestingly enough, which means we could be talking about some minor flooding possible. It's interesting because, we haven't seen any rain at my house yet. It's off in the distance, but we haven't seen any of that rainfall in our neighborhood. All right, let's look at the wider perspective and see what's doing. Lots and lots of moisture across the peninsula. I want to widen the perspective out. There's that trough that we talked earlier in the week about. That is in our long-range forecast, the Texas-Louisiana piece of the pattern. So obviously did not develop into anything tropical, but it's there, and you can kind of see the entire deep south just riddled with moisture. We knew that our rain chance was going to be on the increase today, and that's, at least in some areas, exactly what we're seeing. We're going to keep a couple of storms in there through 7 o'clock and then taper that off little bit by little bit by little bit through the 11 o'clock hour. So what does this look like? Let's take a look at Futurecast, and you know what? Let's just back this up. 4 or 5 o'clock, kind of keeping those storms around. Marching inland through about 6:30, 7 o'clock. Four Corners, Leesburg, that area, and then kind of fading thereafter. You know what? Let me look. That seems like an odd Futurecast run. Let me just change runs here. I'll get there. Eventually I'll find it. There you are. Let's try this. This is a better run of Futurecast, I think. Initially, yeah, definitely initialized better. So there are the storms out east. They want to kind of refire around the metro around 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Now, the model isn't going bonkers on coverage, but we'll see exactly how that plays out. And then eventually 7, 8, 9 o'clock, we'll kind of watch things fade out and stay fairly cloudy, but keep that storm threat around. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast here and just talk about the shower and thunderstorm chances at 40% today, so a little bit higher than yesterday, which I think is absolutely playing out. But looking ahead to tomorrow, keeping 40 and then going up to 60 on Saturday. Our rain chance is going to be increasing looking ahead to Saturday, okay? that's kind of the early setup. The good news, by the way, there's nothing to track here in the tropics. We are remaining nice and quiet. So for now, we're going to be tracking it, but not overly concerned about anything. All right. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. Don says, good afternoon. How are you? Justin, how are you? Listening got dash coffee talk clashes with school. Oh, the afternoon coffee talk clashes with school. My apologies, Marie, but that's okay. Hang when you can. Don't when you can't. That's all. Right? Nice and stormy in Deltona near Osteen. Not much rain, though. Yeah, it's definitely stormy in that direction for sure. Juan Carlos, good afternoon to you, bud. Good afternoon to you, Judy. Hope you're doing well. Lieben says, getting pretty dark on campus here at UCF. Oh, yeah, that nasty storm is not far from you. Let's zoom back in there. And you can see as our live radar sweeps through. It scans at 6 degrees a minute, which means, or 6 degrees a second, which is 1 revolution every minute. So we get a new radar image every minute. But that's definitely a nice intense cell right there out near Chulliota, kind of colliding as the kind of boundaries collide. We watch this storm system get a little stronger and a little stronger. All right. Let's see here. Hey, Eric. Good to Old Town later on the weather going to be okay? I mean, there's going to be storms around these next few hours. Stephanie says, guess I'm not mowing the yard today. It hasn't rained at my house. I'm not going to go mow it right now, but I would say that hopefully I'll be able to get a chance to mow it a little bit later. Death clouds rolling in Lake Nona right now. I mean, there's definitely some dark skies over top. Let's pop up and just kind of look around on our tower cam network. Yeah, I mean, that's looking west. If we looked, that's looking a little more east. Not east enough. Nice and dry out by Disney, Melbourne, Cocoa. Yeah, so we're doing okay. And then, of course, there's just the beach, which is beautiful. Judy says Oviedo's rumbly. Oh, yeah, that I would agree with. Where are the tropical storms, hurricanes? The season is super slow. Stephen, we forecasted that back in March. Just saying. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Just saying. All right. That's what we've got this afternoon. So coming up today at 4, meteorologist Alex Alisi is going to be discussing the showers and thunderstorms that are happening and where they go next. And then all new at 5, meteorologist Cam Tran looks ahead to your weekend forecast. What is ahead? They'll be chatting about it. In the meantime, I'm going to go get the kids from school. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock for coffee.